creeping into that critical mass of Corsairs that we were talking about before. And that is a little bit worrisome for Savior. Savior, now, while he's been doing a good job of getting his macro up, he's got to be more aggressive now. He's got to start using his units, and he's got to take, oh, beautiful, take these opportunities to take out Corsairs just like that. And now, I like this by Pusan, attacking the weaker expansion. However, look at the unit of the building placement. Oh, beautiful. He's taking out more and more Corsairs. There are only 2 Corsairs left on the field. And wisely... Oh, the Hydralisk then gets taken out, though. I didn't even realize Pusan was focusing on that. Brilliant play by him. Now able to start attacking these Suckers. But the Zerglings pop out at perfect time, and the Archons are nowhere to be seen. They are not there to help take out the Zerglings. And now this is going to be terrible if Pusan loses his entire force. But no, he's taking out all the Suckers. And the Sucker was targeting the Archon. Genius. By targeting the Archon, he's able to now take out the Corsairs without any worry. Then he can take out the Zealots. He can clean it up. At the same time, he is taking out the third expansion, or second expansion, that Pusan was trying to put up. Pusan has taken out all the drones at the base of Savior. But, no, he didn't. Savior was running them around and saved a lot of them. And Savior is in a great position here. Beautiful by defense by Savior. I really do think it was a good attack by Pusan. But Savior made a great judgment call on attacking those Archons first with the Sunkens. He was targeting with those Sunkens, and now he's rebuilding all of that stuff. He's also got his 4th base up. If he can get that up and running with the Hive Tech that he's now getting, he can go for Ultraling. He can get those Defilers out. We haven't seen any Lurker Tech. He lost his Hydralisk Den, of course, but he may forsake Lurkers altogether and maybe just go straight for, I don't know. Maybe he'll go straight for Ultras. It's hard to tell. And now doing a great job of still delaying that expansion for Pusan. Pusan is finding himself in a tough spot right now. He's losing that scouting probe, well, not scouting probe, but that probe that was going to make that base over there. Believe it or not, that's huge, because now he has to send another probe over there, and that's time away from getting up an expansion. And now, once again, Savior has redefended his expansion at the 6 o'clock location, which is something that a lot of players just don't do enough. They say, okay, he attacked that. I don't really need to redefend it because I don't think he's going to go back there. But no, that's not the case. Once you exploit a weakness, if it continues to be a weakness, you continue to exploit it. I mean, that is basic God of War play right there. You know, if there's a weakness, exploit it. And a lot of times you'll see this. A lot of times you'll be like, hey, why does that player keep falling prey to the same exact tactic over and over and over? Well, is it because he's an idiot? Maybe, because why isn't he just building some defense? It's obvious that, you know, he is having a problem with defending that area, so the player is going to keep going up against that, and why don't you close off that entryway for attack? And once again, Savior just goes up and picks off that probe. Brilliance. Now, you can see that Pusan is not quite mined out at his main on the mini-map. He clearly has some units still there. But well, some minerals still there. And we are seeing Lurkers, by the way. Lurkers are coming out. Beautiful. I'd like to see a Spore Colony up at this point. I think that would be a good choice. One, it'll help defend against the Corsairs, and it'll help defend against Observers. I didn't mention that last time, but it is useful to have Spores to defend against Observers. Lurker Spore Sunken Defense is a very tough nut to crack. And if he gets a Spore up, I think he'll be in a better position. Now, Savior, I'm a little worried because he is starting to stick and rely too heavily on those Muta and Scourge. He can see exactly the amount of Corsairs. There are 7 out now, and that is critical mass, guys. That is the amount of Corsairs that you don't want to be fighting against. He's got to start switching his tech up. He's got Hive Tech. Where's the switch going to happen? And now he's got, this is great though. Look at where his Lurkers are. So hard to attack. No range units to attack him. So what does he do? Now Savior, he's got a lot of Scourge nice and spread out, but he's got to worry that a lot are going to take it out. Now those Lurkers alone though, because they're placed behind buildings like that, that is going to stop that attack dead in its tracks. Now at this point, Pusan has to do one of 2 things. He's got to either start getting, well, one of 3 things. He got to start getting Goons, Reavers, or Templar. And if he doesn't get any of those units, he simply cannot attack those bases because he will just lose way too much and it just won't be cost effective for him to be attacking those expansions. Now, and look how Zealot heavy Pusan is. This is where I think that he's making bad decisions. Because Savior, like I said, he's not an idiot. He sees all these, he has seen all of these situations in the past. And, oh, Beautiful. Using these Corsairs to start attacking Overlords. And oh! Very nicely done by Savior. Beautiful job flanking with Scourges. That is how you keep those Scourges alive against critical mass. You don't go head on. You make them attack the Muta, which can take at least a few hits by that clump of Corsairs before they start going down, as long as your Muta aren't clumped up. And then what do? You go in with Scourge from behind because they're not going to get hit by Splash in that method. And beautifully done by Savior. But I do like the fact that Pusan went after the units like he did. And it looks like we may see a storm drop here. And this is where we might see problems. Oh, no, it's DTs out in the field. Can Savior is on top of this already, though. He knows exactly what's coming. And he's got his Muta there to defend. Beautiful job. I was going to say this might be Savior's weakness. He may not have the same exact mechanics that he had back in 07 and 06. I mean, really... If he had let that DT do a lot of damage, I would have been like, all right, see, Savior still isn't completely back in the game. But he did a great job. He defended it. He did a fantastic job at not delaying, but stopping that DT attack altogether. I haven't mentioned it in a while, but guess what? Savior's on 4 bases. That means Savior is getting a lot of gas. That means Savior is probably going to go Ultras, considering we've seen an Ultralisk Cavern. Once those Ultras come out, Pusan's in trouble. Pusan has just not done any damage to Savior other than taking out a couple of Sunkens and a Hydralisk Den at this point. Savior, on the other hand, has delayed time and time again the expansions. And, oh, look at the upgrades for those Lings. Cracklings are now out on the field. And this is going to start doing a lot of damage. Not the best attack, really, by Savior here. But you know what? I like it. I like the fact that he's putting pressure on Pusan. He's got to be careful against those Corsairs, though. Pusan, though, you can see, he is feeling the pressure. See, the thing about Cracklings is you can send in a control group at a time. Over here, over there, guerrilla tactics, basically. And the thing is, they just do so much damage so fast. If you are out of position, you can't defend that quickly. They'll either take out a lot of Zealots really quickly, they'll take out a lot of Probes really quickly, they can take out buildings really quickly. Now, you start tying that together with Ultras, you have a lot of problems on your hands. We're only seeing the +3 weapon upgrade from Pusan, and while that's great, look at this. +2, +5 Carapace for those Ultras. And Savior trying to glitch that Ultra through. You can see he's definitely focusing on, oh, he's going to take out, well, he doesn't need that anymore. He's going to take out the Evo Chamber that probably did his Carapace upgrade. All he needs now is +1 melee, one more +1 melee, and he'll be all set. As soon as he does that, he's fully upgraded Ultras and Lings. But he doesn't even need that. He can go in with this attack and melee upgrade that he has here, and he's going to do a whopping amount of damage. I mean, it's going to be scary. And I really don't see Pusan being able to defend this at this point. And Savior, by the way, is defending and getting other expansions up at the same time. He's getting the 5 o'clock position, thinking about the, potentially thinking about the 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock position. And at the same time, putting on pressure. While it appears like Savior might not have map control because the units of Pusan are in the middle, that's not true. The interesting thing, oh, I forgot who I was listening to. I think it was actually Day 9. I got to admit, I've been listening to Day 9 a lot lately. Although I thought he was a hippie at first. No offense, Day 9. First impressions and all of that. He knows a lot about the game. And he had a really cool analogy for Protoss late game ZVP. And that is the Protoss ball of units is really powerful. But you can use that ball to your advantage. Say you take the map and you roll it around in a funny way, right? And like you're playing Labyrinth. You can roll that ball away from where you want to go, right? And that is a great tactic to have, in my opinion. And, oh! Savior with the drops all over the place. Guys, this game is as good as over at this point. He's look at the ball. The ball is not near where it needs to be. And Savior is able to take out both the main and the expansion. And the ball was rolled down to the bottom of the map. And at this point, Savior is doing a great job of misinformation, I guess, or using that ball to his advantage because those units are all the way down there. Pusan, he's got no choice. Watch, he's going to do a desperate counterattack on a heavily defended base that he is no way going to be able to defeat simply because lurkers are locked behind buildings, and that's it. That's the only reason why he won't be able to beat this. And while he's still doing a good job trying to harass with those Corsairs, he's lost so many to Savior doing a great job of taking them out left and right that this is now it for Pusan. He's got no range units. He doesn't even have Templar. Oh, I'm sorry, he does have Templar. And he manages to take out one of the 2 lurkers. Now, that's great, but that's not enough. And GG, look at that. Pusan not even going after attack because he doesn't want to watch his unit composition get slaughtered by Saviors. So, you know what? Savior is doing a great job. Is he back? Well, yeah, I guess so, technically. But is he back to his prior form? Nah, I'm going to argue not yet. But I got to say, I'm impressed. That was very nicely played by Savior and a well-deserved win. So CJ, by the way, is up 2-0 against MBC. Next up, we got Sky High versus Sea Shield. Can Sea Shield, the choke artist himself, bring his team back into this? Well, you'll have to watch to find out. See you guys there. GG.